This is Joshua Farnsworth. Welcome to my traditional woodworking school. In this video, traditional woodworker Will Myers shows how to use historical milk paint as he finishes the inside of his reproduction shaker wall clock.
The original clocks, the backboard on the inside of the clock was painted chrome yellow, which is a pretty bright yellow, and well, not pretty bright, very bright yellow, which is it's kind of this part you may not want to do or may want to skip. My wife, she thinks it's ugly. She can't stand it, but I think it's cool. Something about opening the door and it's like, why in the world is it yellow, you know? So, but it's the way my stupid head works. So, but that's what he did, and that's what we're going to do here. And I'm using just a milk paint here, and this is mustard, and this is old-fashioned milk paint. This is not quite as bright as what the originals probably were. The inside of 23 is really, really bright, and the others are a little darker, more like this, and I do like the little bit darker. And it's probably just they weathered a little more than the others, so, or than that one. So
Here's one of our related videos I think you'll like. Check the link in the description below.
So to start off with, I've hit this with a joiner here, smoothed it up a little bit. I haven't gone to any great lengths because, you know, it is the inside of the clock and it's not all that, really not all that visible anyway. But right here, I do want to put a piece of tape on here to kind of have a stopping point. I don't want to get any yellow paint up here on the hanger. So I'll put a little bit of tape right there. And so I've already mixed this, and it's good. I forgot what the instructions say. I like to let it set a while before I use it one way or another. And it's a good idea to strain this like through cheesecloth or something. But this particular mixture, I'm just using like a quarter cup of the powder of the color to like a little it'd be thirds, 1/3 of paint to 2/3 water, hot water. And I may have added just a little bit of extra water because I want this pretty thin. I'm not too worried about really making a big coat or coverage. Just kind of want to do kind of a wash, kind of like the originals were, because you can see the grain through it. It's not a real thick, you know, heavy paint. And after this dries, which of course show you, we'll sand it a little bit and you know, kind of where we can see through it a little better. So this is, like I said, mixed 2/3 water to 1/3 pigment. And it's not much to putting it on. We're just going to get a little bit of a coat on here, kind of just a wash, and try to keep it fairly even. And like right there around that knot, I've got a little bit of tear out. That's up behind the works, so we won't see that. I mean, it's the backboard, you know, kind of use some restraint. There's no use to get it absolutely perfectly smooth. So of course, don't want to go by the paint or by the tape. It'd be bad. And so I'm just going down through here and try to keep it fairly even. You can sand it a little bit and even it up if you need to, but this stuff is just really not much to it. It's easy to go through it, so sanding. My favorite is if I can get it fairly even, don't have to sand much at all, and just like a little bit of steel wool. Because this is a pretty thin mixture here. We're not building much of a coat of paint. So you kind of see what I've done there, and that's about right. I figured it would go all to pieces when Josh turned the camera on, but it's all right. So I'm going to let this dry for just a few minutes. This stuff dries pretty quick. And then we'll get ready to install the backboard. But it's just easier to go ahead and kind of want to show you now to do this with the backboard out. That's the way he did it. There's no, I don't know if masking tape even existed then, but there's no paint on the case at all. So he had painted these before it went in. So we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and go to the next step.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying watching our video so far, and I just want to take a few seconds to let you know about our traditional woodworking store, which you can visit while taking a class or by visiting our website at woodandshop.com/store. You'll find our amazing products to help you grow in traditional hand tool woodworking, including in-person and video woodworking classes, woodworking hand tools and workbenches, woodworking plans, traditional wood finishes, shirts and hats, and cool hand tool woodworking gifts for you or your loved ones. Okay, back to the show.
Our paint has dried here for about an hour or so, and so we're going to finish this backboard up. Now there's lots of options on this. Everybody seems to have their own finishing recipes on milk paint. You could either leave it, number one, that would be, I guess, the easiest one. But I'm going to scuff this a little bit, and then we're going to wipe a little bit of just Danish oil on it. So there, pretty much anything sticks to this stuff. So the oil, the reason I use it is it kind of soaks in the wood a little bit, and it just kind of gives it it brings the grain out, as you'll see here in just a minute. So you've kind of got some of the color, and you've still got the grain, which you can see the grain through it now. And I'm just using a little bit of steel wool here, and I'm just kind of taking the fuzz off of it a little bit, where the milk paint, of course, is water based, and so it's a little bit. It raises the grain, makes it a little bit fuzzy. So. And if you need if you've got heavy spots or something you want to correct, of course now would be the time. You hit that with some sandpaper if you need to. But this is just real quick. I wouldn't spend a huge amount of time on it. If you're doing one with a glass door, this is, really shows up more. If you're doing one with a panel door, it's of course less important. So I'm just going to knock a little bit of that dust off. Not super important on this part of the operation. And so I've got just a little bit of this, just regular old Danish oil. Nothing special. It's just the natural. It's not the colored or anything. And it'd be good if I had some rubber gloves, but I have seemed to have forgotten them, and so I'm just going to kind of be careful. And of course, these rags, any kind of oil on them, once you get done, be sure and spread them out so they can dry. Don't just throw them in the trash can. So you can already see right there. In fact, I'm just going to do this right here. Quick and dirty finishing. How that changes the color, and it you can see the grain. And really, most finishes you put on this is going to have kind of the same effect. The oil just kind of seems to darken it a little bit. Okay, when I get up here towards the top now, I need to really watch it. I don't want to get any on my on the little round part up here, because that's going to be on the outside of the clock. So be really careful and don't splash any or. And this stuff, it takes a pretty good while to dry, but it kind of soaks in, and if you're going to, put another coat on it, you need to give it some time, but we're not. This is going to be all this gets. So you see there what I've done, and that's looks. It's the best way I found to try to get something that looks like the original clocks. The insides of them. It's just kind of a rubbed, or not a rub, but just a wash type paint is what they've done. And that's been about the way I found to make it look the most like the originals. Okay, that's all. That's all for the backboard, so it's ready to nail in now. So there we go. That's all on that. So we're gonna get ready to put this thing in the case now.
If you're interested in learning traditional woodworking, come take a class at our school in Earlysville, Virginia. You can also visit our website at woodandshop.com, where you'll find a bunch of free woodworking lessons, workshop tours, and our very popular tool buying guides. And make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter to get our latest articles and videos. Enjoy!